Welcome to Athens, Greece, a city where the past and the present intertwine in a very breathtaking way. As we look over the city, the capital of Greece today, it's hard to imagine that this was once a small but powerful city-state that shaped the very foundations of Western civilization. Athens has a history that stretches back thousands of years. First settlements here date back to the Neolithic period, but it was in the 5th century BC, the classical period, that Athens became the center of philosophy, democracy, and the arts. This was the age of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. The city thrived under Pericles, who oversaw the construction of the Acropolis, the Parthenon, and many of the monuments that still stand today. Yet, as we pan over the modern city, you'll notice that most of the buildings don't look ancient. Where are the ruins? What happened to the old city? More about that in a little bit. One of the most iconic traditions in Athens today is the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, located in front of the Hellenic Parliament. These guards, known as Evzones, are part of an elite ceremonial unit. Their uniforms, inspired by the clothing of the 19th century Greek revolutionaries, feature the famous fustanella, a kilt-like garment with 400 pleats, one for each year of Ottoman rule. Every hour, this precise, deliberate ceremony unfolds as a tribute to Greece's past. I've seen the changing of the guard in Washington, D.C., but this was something different, uniquely Greek. Pretty interesting. Athens is still a center of learning and culture. This is the Academy of Athens, one of the most beautiful neoclassical buildings in the city. While it looks like an ancient temple, it was actually built in the 19th century as part of Greece's revival of classical architecture. Statues of Socrates and Plato sit at the entrance, while Athena and Apollo stand high on their columns watching over the city. This is a reminder that even though much of Athens, the ancient part of Athens, is gone, its intellectual legacy is still very much alive. Walking through Athens, you might be surprised at how modern much of it looks. Unlike cities like Rome, where ancient structures dominate the landscape, Athens had a very different path. Many of its classical buildings were destroyed over time by wars, invasions, and even natural disasters. The Ottoman period, which lasted nearly 400 years, also saw changes in architecture and city planning. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Athens underwent rapid modernization. The neoclassical movement brought grand buildings like the Academy of Athens, but as the population grew, so did the need for housing and infrastructure. Today, Athens is a mix of old and new, narrow streets lined with traditional taverns, bustling modern squares, and of course, the occasional glimpse of an ancient column or ruin tucked between apartment buildings. Despite its modern appearance, Athens still has a unique charm. The energy of the city is vibrant street life. Its deep connection to history make it a pretty fascinating place to explore. And of course, no visit to Athens would be complete without experiencing its food. From tender, flavorful lamb to the strong and rich Greek coffee, every meal is an experience in itself. Athens is not just about history, it's about enjoying the moment, savoring the flavors, and appreciating the culture that has thrived here for thousands of years. A special thanks to Jeff for being with me on this trip. If you enjoyed this look at modern Athens, be sure to like and subscribe for part 2, where we'll dive into the wonders of the Acropolis.